Northern Ireland is home to the Giant's Causeway, and it seems that the rock formation may not be the only giant in the country. Scientists have identified a giant hotspot in Northern Ireland where people carry a gene mutation causing them to grow abnormally tall. 1 in 150 people have the gene mutation in Mid-Ulster, compared to just 1 in 2,000 people across the rest of the UK. The mutant gene is believed to date back to the Iron Age, 2,500 years ago. Every family which has it is distantly related to the 18th century freak show star Charles Byrne, who grew to 7 feet 7 in. More than 3/4 of carriers will never develop health problems, but those who do can die from heart failure or hemorrhage. Scientists hope their work will help find those at risk of passing on the gene. Lead author Professor Patrick Morrison, president of the Ulster Medical Society, said, "The moral of the story from this research is that most giants look fearsome, but they can be weak individuals. If you are 7 feet tall, your heart has to pump harder to get the blood up another couple of feet to your brain, so these people get heart failure more easily." Brendan Holland, from Dungannon in Northern Ireland, who assisted with the study, has the gene and is 6 feet 9 and 1/2 inches tall. Had he not received radiotherapy to cure him of its effects, experts believe he would have grown to 7 feet 7 inches, like Charles Byrne, and died in his early 20s. Mr. Holland said, "Some people look upon people who are giant and in their mind they are like Roald Dahl's big friendly giant, or they think about them in a fairy tale way. But the reality is much more brutal than that. It is not just about being tall. I had a constant throbbing dull pain in my head and suffered a blackout in school one day. The headaches come from a non-cancerous tumor which forms in the pituitary gland, a pea-sized gland just below the brain. It is this gland which is responsible for causing people to become giants by producing and releasing far more growth hormone than is needed. It is also close to the optic nerve, so can cause serious problems with sufferers' vision. 4 out of 5 people with the mutant gene never suffer any ill effects, but 10 to 15% end up with the condition acromegaly caused by the excessive growth hormone. Some develop larger than normal feet and hands in later life, while 5 to 10% become giants like Mr. Holland, who as a teenager grew an inch in height in a single month. The study is based on DNA tests carried out over 2 weekends in Tesco car parks in the town of Dungannon and Cookstown, both in County Tyrone. Many of those tested by spitting into a test tube did not even realize they carry the gene, which can also lead to infertility. But if it is caught early enough in sufferers, it can be treated using medication to curb the growth hormone or brain surgery through the nose to remove the tumor. The genetic mutation has been found in more than 400 people, and at least 15 families in Northern Ireland have been identified as carriers. The most famous victim, however, remains Charles Byrne from Drumullen in County Tyrone, who caused a sensation in London in 1782. At 7 feet 7 inches tall, he was the star attraction at a freak show, Cox's Museum, and soon amassed a fortune. But he took to heavy drinking and died aged 22. Barely a year after his arrival in London, his wish to be buried at sea was ignored, and his skeleton, 7 Albanian Lex FT7 in Ovid, now resides in a London museum. A contemporary report said the whole tribe of surgeons put in a claim for the poor Irishman and surrounded his house just as harpooners would an enormous whale. Mr. Holland, one of those distantly related to Byrne, said, "I've been lucky. I've actually been cured and had the best treatment available. My mother passed the gene to me and she never knew that, and many people still to this day are passing the gene on without knowing it."